Basically, I am going to go over just the prisons for the fight, just making a separate video to make sure it's easier to understand for people. So there's going to be a hot debuff here on the very first one, and the prisons are just going to go right next to it, roughly here and here. So I will watch it for a little bit, and I'll pause it, and I'll call the assignments. So you see here, this is left, which is also number 1, I believe, if I look here. Yeah, number 1 is on the left, and number 2 is on the right, looking towards the wall. So on the left hand side, we have Goblin Body and Kandak, and Riffy and Artem are on the right. So basically, what we need to do is we can't afford for these prisons to be broken. We can only afford for the last set to be broken. So the first two prisons are basically people who can get out themselves. So the monks can transcendence. Goblin Body can use his portal. Frixa can backflip, I think, if I'm correct. I'll double check. DH can Vendro retreat and double jump over the wall. Mages can also blink and displacements. They can also use Alter Time. Irradium can use his Void Elf. So, for Irradium, if he gets assigned to the first one here, he has to be gripped out of the prison by an evoker or a priest because he needs his ratio for this one here. And the exact same for anyone else that can't do it themselves will need to be gripped out. So that is like Irradium, Rock Gobbler, Patch, Rezabel, Hasnor, Bjorg, Aldrich. Those are basically the people that need to be rescued. And Xerxes can deep breath, or he can rescue to someone to get out of there. I should ideally put him on the list just in case, but I think he has an easier time doing it to warrants me not doing it, just in case someone else needs the priority. So, yeah, so just to go over that again. So, Goblin Body Kandak on the left, Riffy Artem on the right. You're pre-placing your way out, which is Transcendence and Portal. And also, you can taunt this goon to make sure the frontal is always on a certain player. It just makes it a lot easier for the other player to dodge and basis allowing them to stand still. It's difficult to see in this pool, but you just watch like Bane here. The second the Yad dies, he transcendence. He uses his transcendence. You see here it's starting to break, and they all transcendence out, meaning that they don't make a wall, which is being used by these frost spears. Okay, so the second example is this. There's going to be a diamond marker here. There's going to be one on star here, and there's going to be an orange down here. So if I look at this drawing again, so the one on orange, which is this is star, this is diamond. So orange is Frixa, Olan, and Artem. Star is Irradium, Kandak, and Meshti. And diamond will be Riffy and Goblin Body. So ideally, like I said before, you should all be placing a way out beforehand. Or if you can do it during it, that's great. It just means that you also take less damage and you have more uptime on the boss, which is always nice. So we'll just watch this one through. Boss goes in between orange and star. We got front left on star, we got back left on moon and on orange, and we got right on purple. Again, you can taunt the ad to make sure you place the frontal somewhere. And again, these people who don't need to be in there are getting gripped out. They have no way of getting out. Yeah. And then the last example is the 4 prisons. So there's going to be one on triangle, moon, square, and cross. So if I go back to my drawing, so this is, let me just make sure I get the right markers. Triangle, moon, square, cross. So this is triangle, this is moon, this is square, this is cross. So on triangle is Jafar, Rock Gobbler, and Artem. On moon is Frixa Kandak. On star is Riffy, Hesnor, Xerxes. On cross is Elix and Goblin Body. So these ones don't matter if you can break yourself out, hence why there are players that can't do it in assigned. But obviously, if you can do it, it's just great for your uptime and damage done to you. Okay, the boss is going to be positioned here for the rocket guided rocket. So just make sure that if you're not soaking, I think assigned the only person who's assigned that is soaking is Jafar. So Jafar will be standing right here in the circle. Everyone else, just make sure you're on the far edges of the prison to make sure you're not in the soak, otherwise you will die. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's it for prisons. You can watch this through. So again, you can taunt the ad to bait the frontal. And then the Goblin Guided Rocket, they overlap the prisons. Jafar's getting into soak. And this one here is just the immunities. So it's just the tanks, the mages, and the rogue. And yeah, that's prisons in a nutshell.